If you're running a pressure washing business in 2026, you're trying to figure out which CRM is the best for your operation, which one is going to help you quote jobs faster, schedule routes smarter, and actually get you paid on time. This is the video that's going to break all of that down. We are going to look at 4 of the top CRMs that pressure washing businesses are actually using right now. And then all of them are Jobber, Housecall Pro, FieldCamp and Markate. Service Titan gets an honorable mention, but it's an enterprise software, $300 plus per user per month, and then it's not the right fit for a small or a medium-sized pressure washing business. So we are not going to do a deep dive on it. Here's what makes this comparison different. Every section we are evaluating each product in 2 ways: how the traditional functionality works and how the AI actually helps you in 2026. Because in this market right now, AI is the line between a CRM that's going to help you grow your business and one that's going to feel outdated by next year. And I'm going to assign a winner at the end of every section. So by the end, you will know exactly which one to pick. One quick note before we start. We will talk about FieldCamp's AI agents a few times in this video. If you want to see exactly how the agent platform is configured, check out FieldCamp's website at fieldcamp.ai, link in the description. Now let's get into it. So here's the flow. First, what all 4 CRMs do the same, the basics. Then we walk through the 6 categories: quoting, square footage measurement, automation, AI strategy, pricing, support, and integrations. These are the various sections, evaluating each product on the traditional functionality plus AI capability, as I mentioned. Each section ends with a declared winner, and at the end, the overall verdict, what's best in 2026. Let's start with the basics. So what every pressure washing CRM does the same. Every CRM on this list, Jobber, Housecall Pro, FieldCamp, Markate, they all do the same fundamentals: send a quote, send an invoice, schedule a job, and accept a payment. All 4 have a customer database where you can store all the client info, job notes, payment history. They all accept online payments. They all have a mobile app. They all give you a reporting dashboard. If a CRM didn't have all these 4 things, it wouldn't be in this video. That's the baseline from where the differences are real. So the first one which we are going to talk about is quoting and invoicing, traditional plus AI. Every CRM can technically build a quote, right? But there are real differences in how the workflow to make a quote, and what's the bigger difference when the AI is doing it in 2026. So Markate's traditional quoting is basic: line items, digital estimate, payment collection. And Markate's AI in quoting, there's nothing meaningful, no AI in the quote builder especially. The second one, Jobber, has a traditional quoting which is solid, by the way, but the workflow has an extra step compared to its competitor. On Jobber, you create an estimate and then you convert that estimate into a request, and then you schedule that request. It works, but it's an extra click, an extra mental model. Jobber's AI in quoting, but most AI investment has gone into their AI receptionist product, not in the quote builder. So in 2026, your quote builder on Jobber is a manual workflow. The third one is Housecall Pro, which is mostly one of the most advanced quoting tools. You have more options on estimate. You can do multi-option estimates. You can schedule an estimate directly without a separate request step. For an operator who quotes a lot, this is real time saving. Housecall Pro's AI in quoting, it is the same story as Jobber, but their manual quoting works really well for people who are going to be building a lot of estimates. And lastly, FieldCamp's traditional quoting is where structurally actually matters for pressure washing. There's 2 kinds. One is the multi-option one estimates, where you can create estimates on FieldCamp which has multiple options, and you can choose from templates like several service tiers like basic wash, premium plus seal, and the customer picks the option they want. But the second one is the phase-based estimates for commercial pressure washing, where jobs has multiple phases like surface prep, then deck wash, then sealing. You can break the estimates into phases when using FieldCamp, and of course its own pricing and timeline for that phases. Neither Jobber or Housecall Pro has this phase-based functionality. Housecall Pro has the options-based functionality. That's the FieldCamp only feature over here. But FieldCamp's AI in quoting is where you have to think differently than other products. FieldCamp doesn't ship a single like an AI estimator feature. Instead, you can deploy what they call FieldCamp agents, a configurable AI agent that can handle specific workflow. For example, everyone starts with an estimation agent, right? You deploy it, you point it anywhere. For example, if you're running meta ads, then when a lead comes in from meta ads, agent watches for the new leads. It pulls the lead details from questions and drafts an estimate based on your service template, pricing, and send it automatically to the customer. So lead came in from an ad, the agent processed it, and the estimate was actually sent. This is something what FieldCamp's agents can do on the platform. For me personally, this is workflow that makes 2026 software different from 2018. Your code builder isn't just easier to use, it's actually running on its own while you are working at the job. The only catch worth being honest is to deploy FieldCamp agent about your specific business workflow. You will need to talk to their team. FieldCamp team will understand your process first of all and then help you configure this agent. It's a one-time setup fee, of course, but once you do it, you are saving basically hours. So for quoting and invoicing with traditional and AI functionality, FieldCamp wins this section because of two differentiators. One is a multi-phase based estimate and then configurable AI agents. Now the second section, which is square footage and square footage measurement and traditional plus AI capabilities. Pressure washing operators specifically need square footage measurement more than any other vertical. Your prices are mostly square footage times the surface type for service tier. So how each of these CRM handle the measurement matters the most. I'm going to be honest about each product in this one, including FieldCamp. For example, Markate, no built-in square footage tool or no AI. You're actually really just going to use Google Maps doing it yourself. Then comes Jobber. Jobber also doesn't have any built-in square footage tool either. The way Jobber operators operate typically is by integrations marketplace. You connect a third-party measurement tool, and some of these tools have AI satellite image boundary detection. But that's the partner's AI, not Jobber's, for example. And it's a separate subscription on top of your Jobber plan, which is going to cost you more money. The third option is Housecall Pro. It is same situation as Jobber. No native measurement or like any third-party integrations would be required to operate. And FieldCamp also doesn't ship natively with a square footage measurement tool out of the box. I want to be straight with you on that. What FieldCamp does have, by the way, is this agent platform which we talked in the first part, where you can contact the team and say that, hey, I want the data to be pulled from, for example, property details from Google satellite imagery. And then this is how the calculation in the square footage works. And then it feeds into your estimate workflow. So they might be able to help you build this agent out, but out of box, they also don't have a square footage functionality. And the price for this custom agent will depend on your use case as well. So it's best to contact the FieldCamp team for this. So if you want square footage measurement working out of box today for your workflow, then the one with the least setup is Jobber and Housecall Pro. Both have mature integrations to achieve this functionality rather than Markate or FieldCamp. If you want a measurement workflow that's fully customized around your process and an AI agent can help or an automation can be put in place, then only talk to FieldCamp, because FieldCamp doesn't have an out-of-box square footage measurement as of today. And for an operating deciding today, I am giving this section to Jobber because integration marketplace first of all, and it's the fastest way to get something working ultimately. Now section 4, automation and follow-ups, traditional and AI comparisons, of course. So now follow-ups and automation, industry data is consistent. Somewhere around 30 to 40% of quoted revenue gets lost just because of a follow-up failure. So this matters. Markate's traditional automation basically is nothing, manual or paid add-on. Markate's AI in follow-ups is none. The second one, Jobber's traditional automation is good. It can send quote reminders, it can do appointment confirmations on the way text, etc. on a $119 a month connect plan. Jobber's AI in the follow-ups is nothing, but they have this predefined templates for quotations and messages which you can use. The third one, Housecall Pro, it has a traditional automation which matches Jobber, for example, on a $189 essential plan. And Housecall Pro's AI in follow-ups, for example, scheduled automation, etc., are not AI driven. They are predeterministic, like, okay, if 2 days it's not approved, then send a reminder. And the fourth one is FieldCamp's automation is highly comparable because they have something called as workflow automation module. So what it does is you can literally make your own workflow For example, when an estimate is made and 3 days past it, it's not approved, then send this email. 2 days after it, if it's still not approved, then send this email. So it basically watches the status of every quote, reads the customer responses, for example, if any, and customizes the cadence in that way. So the most urgent, for example, more urgent for a customer who's gone silent for a week, it's much more harsh than softer customer who you can wait for like 2 or 3 days, for example. So FieldCamp has 2 modules. One is a workflow automation, where you can make your workflow to follow up with quotes, invoices, etc. Or the agents functionality also somewhat applies in this case, where it will watch out and make a report for you ultimately as an admin, which estimates are currently pending and not approved, for example. So in either way, both of them will help you gain more business. And for me personally, in this section, FieldCamp is the one that's going to win. And lastly, AI strategy, the biggest picture, who is winning it? Now let's zoom out. Each of these companies is approaching AI very differently, and that tells you more about what your CRM will look like in 12 months than any other individual feature. Markate's AI strategy, they are not investing in it meaningfully. If you pick Markate today, you are picking a 2018 product with a coat of paint. Fine if your needs are just basic, but you will outgrow it. Jobber's AI strategy is to make AI a premium feature you have to upgrade to. The headline product is their AI receptionist, which is fully functional by the way, but you have to get logged on a plus like a $600 plan for 15 users. So Jobber's AI is more of an upgrade. Now Housecall Pro's AI strategy is mostly through a partner integration bolt-on, and they are calling these things like AI teammates, like CSRs and stuff, for example, which can help you use Housecall Pro better ultimately. The genuinely intelligent capability mostly come from third-party tools, for example, like an AI dispatcher. Now FieldCamp's AI strategy is fundamentally different. Instead of shipping a preset features like AI receptionist, AI estimator, etc., FieldCamp has built this agent platform. You can configure, deploy, and customize this AI agent that matches your business workflow, so you can chain them together. So if your AI in FieldCamp isn't the AI that someone else's, for example, your competitor pressure washing business is gonna use, it's what your knowledge is and what's your competitive mode. So the trade-off is real. Pre-built AI features like Jobber's AI receptionist are easier to start with. You flip them, and then otherwise, if you say FieldCamp, configurable agents that you know your business, know how you operate, etc., that's the correct approach, because it's gonna differentiate a competitive advantage at the end of the day. Because with AI, everyone can do 1,000 things, but if you're picking a CRM in 2026, the AI strategy matters more than any individual feature. What can you do that competitors are not doing? And through this, you can choose that, okay, this software works out well for me and this software doesn't work out that well for me. So if AI strategy as a whole is your consideration in the decision, then FieldCamp wins this section, not because the agent platform is easiest like from day one, but their team has the AI advantage and they can work with you to make this competitive mode that other pressure washing businesses won't have. And lastly, now what everyone really wants to know, the pricing. How much does all of this cost? And specifically, how much does it cost to get AI capabilities? Jobber has 2 sets of plans. One is a solo and a team. Solo is like starts from $39, connect at $119 and grow at $199. To get Jobber's AI receptionist, you need the plus plan, which is for teams like $600 for 15 users. Small pressure washing businesses aren't realistically getting any Jobber's AI. But Housecall Pro also start at $79, and it can go from like essential at $189 for 5 users. That's where you get all the estimate reminders and stuff. And the max is $329 with advanced reporting, route optimization, etc. AI comes mostly through integrations if you want, and they can anywhere between $100 and $300. Markate has one plan at $39 plus $5 an additional user, but everything is add-on. Online booking $10, automated request $10, documentation $10, etc. So ideally that turns to like a $100 plan if you want something comparable as Jobber. Service Titan, as I said at the start of video, is $300 plus per user if you are a big enterprise. And lastly, FieldCamp's pricing is built in 2 ways. First of all, there are base tiers. For example, the base tier starts with 3 users. It's around $250 a month. And then the next tier is for 10 users, and then it keeps growing from there. But the good plan is every plan comes with AI. So for each plan, you can have AI agents, you can have conversational AI, you can have AI receptionists, AI summaries, automated reminders, etc. But all of it is usage based. So FieldCamp doesn't say that, hey, but for this plan, you can't get this AI. They say you can get AI anywhere. It depends on what your budget is for that set, Matt. And then you can say, I just want this one agent, which is gonna cost like $30 AI usage credits every month. Then that means that AI agent is the only thing you need, rather than paying like $500 for things that you're not going to use ultimately. So for pricing and value, it depends a lot on how much your budget is. If AI is a priority, then FieldCamp wins. But if just the cost is priority, for example, then Jobber is a great place to start without any much AI features, just the AI receptionist. And lastly, support. Which platform offers the best support? Now I'm just gonna make this super easy for you. Housecall Pro has truly amazing support than anyone else. They have phone support. When you sign up, within few hours, their team is gonna give you a call ultimately. Then they have chat support, they have email support, etc. Jobber support is there. It depends on if you're chatting on live chat. Ultimately, if it's easier question, they are going to help you. If you have something more of custom request or like integrations, etc., then you have to wait a few days. FieldCamp has good support like help center, resource library, live demo calls, etc. They try to make it as public ultimately, the information, and they have chat support as well, with their SLA being around 2 to 4 hours. So anyone can reply to you within 2 to 4 hours. So ultimately, if you are also considering support, Housecall Pro or FieldCamp is gonna be the winners. For overall support, Housecall Pro wins this section. Last section is the integrations. So integrations is where Jobber has the actual advantage. Jobber's large marketplace, QuickBooks, MailChimp, Zapier, Stripe, and dozens more. Jobber's AI integrations through Zapier and direct partners. You can plug in the third-party AI tools. Housecall Pro has a respectable list, QuickBooks, Company Camp, finance partners, AI tools, etc. FieldCamp has traditional smaller marketplace, but you can integrate Zapier, for example, and the AI agents through Zapier can integrate into any tool. The different philosophy is how you make these agents and not just traditional integrations. So if you want the flexibility, swap tools in and out, custom stack, etc., Jobber's marketplace wins. If you want more of an agentic platform where the AI and agents can integrate to tools like Claude, ChatGPT, etc., then FieldCamp's MCP is going to win because it makes all your data available to these platforms like Claude, ChatGPT, etc. And Markate has also lastly Zapier and a few QuickBooks options. Most of what they call integrations are paid add-ons that should be features ideally. So for integrations, as I said, Jobber wins. And if you want a AI first approach where you can integrate all your data into Claude or ChatGPT, FieldCamp wins. Now we are going to talk about bonus and exclusive features. Jobbers stand out the marketplace. If you want a Lego block stack of the best in class tools, Jobber is the answer. Housecall Pro standout is the consumer financing for large commercial pressure washing jobs, where real differentiator is if your average ticket is over $1,500. FieldCamp standout is the FieldCamp's agents platform. None of the three have anything like it. The example we walked through, where an agent watches meta ads, processes leads, drafts estimates, and sends to the customer automatically, is a workflow that doesn't exist on Jobber, Housecall Pro, or Markate without stitching together 5 or different various tools and a Zapier integration. And if you want to know more about any of these platforms, go to their documentation sites, and then it's gonna be really helpful to just read them through. And lastly, the Markate standout is genuine simplicity. It's underpowered but undercomplicated as well. So it's just simple to use if you just want to get started. Write something like today, now and what's the final verdict? So the final verdict is where the things land. Quoting and invoicing, FieldCamp font with multi-phase options, phase-based estimates, and then estimation agent. Square foot measurement is where Jobber won on integrations marketplace. automation and follow-ups is where FieldCamp won, and agent-based behavior-driven follow-ups ultimately. AI strategy as an overall advantage is also where FieldCamp won with their configurable agent platform and AI access across every single plan. Support is where Housecall Pro won with their human 24/7 almost support, and integrations is where Jobber won on the biggest marketplace exclusive features. And then 4 wins to 2 to 1. The overall winner is FieldCamp. Now, who else is right pick for who? It's up to you. If you want the biggest possible integration marketplace, then it's Jobber. If you are more AI focused, if you want to automate your businesses, etc., then it's FieldCamp. If you want an overall best, which works for, which has a good support, okayish AI, and then more or better features than Jobber, then it's Housecall Pro. If you have any other questions, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to support you in the comments, and then like and subscribe.